Don't let these people convince you to put your fast food on layaway. Let's talk about the Doordash and Klarna partnership. Hi, I'm Sky, and welcome to Sky's Bucket List Life. I am a saver investor who is on a journey to early retirement, and I discuss some of the tips and tricks I have learned along the way that have helped me on my journey, as well as discussion of some recent topics that relate to finances, savings, and budgeting. Remember to like and subscribe so you know when I drop my next video. So let's get into this topic. So recently, DoorDash and Klarna announced a partnership to allow its customers to buy now, pay later. Now, if you know what DoorDash is, it is a platform that allows people to essentially order meals for delivery as well as other products they've launched on their platform along the way. Klarna is essentially the upgraded version of layaway. So you buy now and pay for your items later, usually within a set time period with approximately 4 payments to complete the transaction. But you receive your products up front. Well, recently they partnered, now allowing DoorDash customers to use Klarna to make their payments. So let's look into this. The new partnership gives customers more ways to pay for groceries, retail, meals, and more. So the biggest issue right there is paying for groceries. Groceries are a necessity and something that is needed repetitively in order to survive. So it is an essential need. The idea of paying for your groceries essentially on layaway usually indicates that there is a much bigger issue going on. Has the cost of living exceeded our ability to even be able to feed ourselves? But let's look into this a little more. Klarna, the AI powered payments and commerce network, and DoorDash, the premier local commerce platform, have partnered to offer Klarna's flexible range of payment options to DoorDash customers. In the coming months, DoorDash customers will be able to enjoy Klarna's seamless range of payment options when purchasing groceries, retail, and even DoorDash annual plan on DoorDash.com or through the DoorDash app. Now, looking at the bigger picture, these companies are in business for continuous revenue. And when you think of what's typically ordered on DoorDash, one, DoorDash was created for convenience, meaning allowing people to receive items at home. So essentially a delivery service, but it started more out as a food delivery services. So local restaurants would have to partner and get on the platform in order to deliver these products. It became a big boom during the pandemic when most people were at home. So their stock or value and essentially went up. Now it targets more individuals who would be in a situation where they are consistently or constantly buying their food at home. And this tends to fall into a certain demographic. DoorDash is not targeting customers who can afford to eat out with a buy now, pay later option. They are truly targeting customers who are already using these type of services, such as buy now, pay later through Klarna, Affirm, and other essentially payday loan programs. So this is not to the benefit of the customer. This is to the benefit of these two companies. So let's head over to Klarna and see what Klarna has to say about this. So on Klarna's site, they're promoting it as join millions who use Klarna at DoorDash and other stores. 93 million people love to shop and pay with Klarna anywhere, rated 4 plus on the App Store and Google Play. Then they have reviews from Klarna customers stating how pleased they are with the service. Then it gives the options on how you can use Klarna to pay on DoorDash, which includes a Klarna card as well as through the app. Eat now, pay later. Doordash Klarna deal fuels concerns around loans for takeout. The food delivery app and the installment lenders say they're offering a flexible alternative to high interest credit cards. Some social media users and advocates see this as a sign of hard times. DoorDash and Klarna are joining forces to let users pay for meal deliveries with installment loans, calling it, open quote, essential to meeting our customers' needs, close quote. Not everyone sees it that way. The announcement has drawn a flurry of criticism on social media, less directed at the companies themselves and questions what the need to use a buy now, pay later service for food orders says about the increasing debt ridden economy. And in a capitalist society such as America, it has become normalized that debt should be a part of life. When in reality, it isn't. Debt should be a last resort. Now, if we're talking about things such as purchasing of a home, which can be hundreds of thousands of dollars, and a significant or the biggest item most people will buy, then that is typically something that is paid for over years. Or you have an automobile, which in that may be the most expensive single purchase some people will buy. That is also something that the expectation is you may not have the money up front to provide, to allow yourself to get this item, which in itself can be essential to you being able to live your daily life. But when we start thinking about things that are meant to be essential for life and essential to our everyday being, then having to put your food on layaway goes into a bigger issue of one, is the capitalist society driving down people's ability to live a comfortable life? Is the normalization of debt now crossed over into making necessities trivial and something that can be placed on the back burner, where you are now using your funds to purchase items that should be considered luxuries that have now been morphed into necessities? Let's go back to the conversation on transportation, meaning even though a car may be most people's biggest purchase, what type of car are you purchasing? And is the payments related to your car or automobile purchase now affecting your ability to take care of your day-to-day living, including the ability to eat? You are rolling in your ability to eat in the same type of category as your ability to have a flashy car or a car that goes beyond your need of going from point A to point B. Now, if we look at it at the aspect that the merger between your food delivery service and your buy now, pay later is a bigger reflection on what's happening in society and the economy as far as inflation and likely an impending depression, then it plays into what is considered living a comfortable life and what is needed to live a comfortable life. Unfortunately, where we are now, there are a lot of individuals who are going to fall below that threshold and who are essentially living paycheck to paycheck. But there should always be the ability to feed and clothe yourself. Food, clothing, and shelter are essential to life and should not be things that are now being ransomed, being ransomed to us. So, on the bigger picture, what does this mean when we are now paying for our fast food? Because essentially, the items you're going to get on DoorDash are going to be single meals or fast food or something I need right now that you may not necessarily need. Those are the type of items people are purchasing on DoorDash. Otherwise, most people will just go to the grocery store and get the items they need essentially in bulk, where they're able to have that set aside for, let's say, a week or 2 weeks, as opposed to single one time meals. So, is DoorDash and Klarna really creating something that is essential for its customers? Or have they curated customers that now feel that life is based on one meal at a time instead of being able to plan for a week or life in 2 weeks or life in a month. They have foregone the pre-planning of what to expect for your essentials over a period of time as opposed to day to day. So this is something that we will have to see how this evolves with the uncertainty with the economy at this time, as well as the talks of inflation and impending financial depression, what we can expect over the next few months. But drop your comments below. What do you think about essentially a fast food delivery company partnering with a buy now, pay later, essentially a layaway or loan to pay for your fast food? And remember, any tips or tricks you've learned along the way, go ahead and leave those in the comments. Again, this is Sky, and thank you for spending time here with me on Sky's Bucket List Life, where I go over tips and tricks of things I've learned along the way, as well as I feature some of my bucket list trips that I am taking now. So remember to like and subscribe, and let's get it going in the comment section. Until next time, thanks and bye.